Call the meeting to order. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Larry Hall.
Here.
Alderman Kerwin.
Here.
Alderman Van Dyne.
Here.
Alderman Kirby Hall.
Here.
Alderman Persick.
Here.
Alderman Studer. Alderman Tudor. Here. Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. I declare that the regular meeting of the Wilmington City Council on December 3rd, 2013 is now in session. Scratch that, December 17th. I get to read. The meeting of December 17th is now in session. Council, before you have approval of the minutes of December 3rd in front of you. Kind of wish it was the 3rd, so I'm nowhere near close to done with my Christmas shop.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes as presented for December 3rd and have it placed on file.
A motion by Alderman Tudor, we have a second.
I'll second.
Second by Alderman Persick. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Tudor.
Yes.
Alderman Persick.
Yes.
Alderman Studer. Alderman Kirby Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Van Dyne.
Yes.
Alderman Kerwin.
Yes.
Alderman Larry Hall.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 absent. Motion passes.
Next item is our public hearing. Alderman Persick, give a motion.
Sure do. I move to open the public hearing at 7:04 p.m. to discuss the proposed property tax levy increase.
Motion by Alderman Persick, we have a second.
Second.
Second by Alderman Van Dyne. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Persick.
Yes.
Alderman Van Dyne.
Yes.
Alderman Larry Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Kerwin.
Yes.
Alderman Studer.
Yes.
Alderman Persick. Alderman Tudor. 7 yes, 1 absent. Motion passes. Jeez.
Thank you.
It just
All
wasn't
right.
working.
Jim, you want to call Alderman Hall for that? We'll call those guys.
Alderman
Yeah,
Larry?
Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Kirby Hall.
Okay, got it. We're all good there.
Oh, did we get them all?
I think we did.
Okay, very good.
All right, the public hearing is now open in regards to the tax levy, proposed tax levy increase. I know we went over this in great detail last week. Tony, if you want to kind of...
It's been published, required by statute. We did it publish with the big box too. It's in the packet. We're asking for a 9% increase to property tax revenues coming in. It's not a 9% tax increase on your property tax bill. We want to capture what they call the new growth dollars that come in, and under the tax, we are tax cap county, we have to request those new dollars with an increase, anything over the 5%. So we have to have a hearing to do that. So we're doing that tonight. Encourage the public, if they have any questions, it's outlined in the notice. What we're going to be looking for is, we're asking for an extension of our 2012 property tax, which was $953,770. We're proposing for that to be for 2013 to be $1,039,609. That's a 9% increase over the previous year. We are asking for an extension of our debt service and public building commission leases for 2012, which was $151,505. We're asking for the estimate for next year to be $154,463, which is a 1.95% increase. The total property taxes extended or abated for 2012 were $1,105,275. Our request is an estimated total property taxes to be levied for 2013 of $1,194,072, which will be represents the 8.03% increase over the previous year. So it's the public wants any comments on our requests.
Is all that correct there?
It is.
I just got to check. All right, time is open now to the public. If the public has any questions or concerns or input in regards to the tax levy. Comments from the elders? Any more questions? Even though we kind of really hashed this out last meeting.
we've got a good history of, estimating and capturing those dollars. Because ultimately, the assessor is going to make that final determination. All the right rules. Everything else.
All right. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Sir, I move to close the public hearing at 7:08 PM.
A motion by Alderman Persick, do we have a second? Second by Alderman Tudor. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Persick.
Yes.
Alderman Tudor.
Yes.
Alderman Van Dyne.
Yes.
Alderman Larry Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Kerwin.
Yes.
Alderman Kirby Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Studer. 7 yes, 1 absent, motion passes.
Okay, under the mayor's report, nothing much under the mayor's report, other than I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Because we won't meet again until the 7th after tonight's meeting. So, for my family and your family, I wish you all a happy holidays. Okay, next item on the agenda is the Wilmington Coalition for a Helping Community, who are here tonight. What'd you do, hide Rich? You're just gonna talk too long?
You got it.
Babysit there.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he's still got the dad card.
Yeah, he does.
Like the big president.
No talk, Rich.
Okay.
Is that on? You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So I'm Christina Dyer, and I'm the coordinator for the Wilmington Coalition for a Healthy Community. I've never presented in front of you, so this is the first. I know you, I think Paula had presented in the past. So I don't know what you know about the coalition, so I'm going to take like 5 minutes and run through a lot. And please feel free to ask me questions if you have any questions about what I'm talking about. So you'll see the handout that's coming through. Basically, I just want to explain kind of who we are and what we do. We are a drug-free community grant, which is from the White House's Office of National Drug Control Policy. The White House administration believes that there's really no one-size-fits-all when it comes to working in communities, because every community has its own issues related to the way it functions as a culture. And so they are granting monies to each community to form their own coalition. John was one of the first people to start the coalition back in, John, help me out, 2007, 2006, somewhere around there. We got the grant from the White House in October of 2010. So what that means is we are in year 4 of this grant. The grant provides to the City of Wilmington $125,000 a year. We then have to match that with services or in-kind matches of products up to $125,000 a year. The 2 main goals are to increase community collaboration and partnerships and to decrease substance, alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. So those are the 2 main goals. They break it down into how are you going to do this. The DFC grant is very specific on how you do this, and they give us environmental strategies as to how we go about doing that. So I know you know about the Road to Reality. In the schools, we have the Lions Quest program for 6th through 8th. We're looking at bringing a high school curriculum in the schools. This whole grant is based on prevention sciences. So what we're not necessarily trying to give services to those who are already addicted. We provide referrals for that, but what we're trying to do is teach and educate our youth to prevent them from starting to use, all the way down to, we started in 4th grade. So that's basically what we are doing as a coalition. Out of that 125,000, I'd say 90,000 is spent on salaries for myself, for Mary Knauer, our budget coordinator, and for Chestnut Health Systems. Chestnut is hired by the City of Wilmington to be our supervisors and to pay our health insurance. But the City of Wilmington is our fiscal agent. Okay, so all the money goes through the city, and then everything we spend comes from the city. Is that all clear so far? Yeah? Okay. So if you look at the handout, the second page talks about this strategic prevention framework. So this is what the DFC grant goes through and says. These are the 5 steps that you have to accomplish, with in the center being sustainability and cultural competence being the last 2 steps. We've already done the assessment in order to get the grant. We've already met the capacity standard in order to get the grant. And now what we do, what Mary and I do with our coalition is planning, implementation, and evaluation. Okay? So the next page, our 12 community sectors. We work with all these sectors in the community. The one that is not on here is our governance. I mean, it might be under civic, but I think it's a separate sector, so I consider us to have 13 sectors. These are all the different sectors that we work with as a coalition. The biggest push that I'm trying to work in the coalition for 2014 is to really increase our collaboration and our partnerships in the community, because we really can't do this without everybody being on board. The overriding key is that we are increasing the protective environment of our kids by decreasing the risk factors that our kids see every day in the schools and in the community. And so we have to have everybody on board knowing what we're working towards in order to do that. So one of the big pushes for 2014 is our new board, which is Gina Stachowiak is our new president, Rich is our vice president, Carolyn Healy from the library is our secretary, and Debbie Rutherford is our treasurer. We're going to be going out and doing key sector leader interviews to try to find out what it is that they see our community needs in order to keep the prevention services available for our kids and to keep our community drug-free. I can say that in working with Kevin and Jay and Jeff at the high school, they are doing pretty strict drug testing. I think in some of the other high schools that I've talked to, Wilmington has one of the strictest drug testing policies. Private schools can test every kid, but public schools cannot. So they have implemented a program where they're testing anybody that has a driving permit, anybody that has a parking space, anybody that's in band, in choir, in football, basketball, soccer. So we have a really high rate of kids getting randomly drug tested. And I was told last night that it's pretty much 99% drug-free right now. So that's fantastic. And the couple of kids that tested positive, they knew were testing positive. So I think it's going very, very well in our community. If you look at the next page, you see on the left-hand side, targeting individual environments. Each one of these works with kids one-on-one when they see it. Our faith, community, families, schools, we're all working with individual kids. Coalition is different because we're working with the entire environment. We are working to change how the community works through limiting access and changing our laws and ordinances. Through our Illinois Youth Survey, which I'm proud to say that one of 16% of schools in Will County takes the Illinois Youth Survey. Wilmington Schools has done it 2008, 10, 12, and they're signed up for 2014. There's a lot of schools in Will County that haven't even taken it. And the Illinois Youth Survey is a survey where the kids, it says, when you smoke marijuana, you're doing this because my teachers don't understand me, my parents don't understand me, no one listens to me. When you smoke marijuana, you're doing it because you feel better. These are really good questions that I, as a parent, would like to know what these answers are for our community. And so it's really good information that our school is doing every year. And we have a really nice baseline that we can test how the impact of our coalition is affecting the community. So it's through all of this, working together in these targeted shared environments, that we are hitting all the youth. The next page. Let me say one thing. We've started a youth group called YCATS. They named themselves, and it's the Youth Community Action Team. Right now it stands at about 28 kids who are very much focused on helping to decrease the drugs, alcohol, and tobacco in their school. It's a rough situation. It's hard to get 28 kids to meet all at the same time, so we're having a little bit of dropping off. But we're hoping to kind of kick back into gear in 2014 and get the kids involved. But it's one of the first times that the youth have been so actively engaged. One of the things that you might see them is they want to come and present to all of you about the impact of medical marijuana and how it's going to impact Wilmington. So they're researching it, they're looking into it. I'm going to have them meet with Dr. Barthwell, who's one of the leading medical marijuana specialists. She's the one that testified in Capitol Hill. They're going to go interview her and talk to her, and then she's going to come to our community on April 2nd and answer any questions anybody has about that issue. So the kids are very excited to be part of all of this. So for sustainability, like I said, we're in year 4. So at the end of year 5, Wilmington will have received $625,000 from the federal government. At that point, we have to reapply and show our impact for years 6 through 10 in order to continue to get that grant. And as I said earlier, for every $125,000 we get, we have to match with $125,000 in services. Years 6 through 10, we get $125,000 and we have to match $150,000. Then we get $100,000 and we have to match $175,000. So they're kind of weaning us off the governmental support, but still getting our back so that we are able to sustain and move forward without the federal government, but that the community believes in what they're doing, and so the community is then supporting the coalition. So years 6 through 10 is a mentoring grant. I'm not sure that we'll apply for that. That means we're mentoring another community to get this grant, but we're going to reapply for years 6 through 10. And so we have just recently, within the last 2 to 3 months, gotten our 501c3, so now we're a nonprofit, so we can ask for money. As a federal grant, we cannot ask for any money. All we can do is spend the money that the federal government has given us. So we have kind of a two-part. We have the coalition monies and we have the federal grant monies. Now the 501c3 is in place, we can ask for money to become sustainable as this money decreases. So we're looking to all of you to partner with us and to support us and, you know, come out to our events, support the kids. We have some carryover monies. When we don't spend all of our money, it carries over to the next year. So Mary and I are in the process right now of approving some carryover dollars, and then we will start doing a few more programs this year that we haven't done in the past. And one of the things is to really build the assets in our community, so you'll probably be hearing more about that in the months to come. Does anybody have any questions?
I do.
Yep.
On the high schools, how come such a low percentage participate in that survey? Any idea?
Oh, you mean in the county?
Yeah, kind of, why? You were
No.
just saying 14% or something?
It's 16%. Yeah, you know, I think that I've heard that it's lack of resources, so the kids have to test for an entire day. Some parents say no, they don't want their kids testing about that. Some schools just don't feel that it's of any value, and once they test, they don't do anything with the results, so therefore they don't test again. So the Center for Professional Research and Development, the CPRD, which is out of the University of Illinois, they're the ones who have written this. They're really doing a push this year for 2014 to get all the schools on board. Beth Norman has already signed up and given a date to that our kids. St. Rose was wanting to do it this year, but because the numbers are small in the junior high, they're not able to do it this year. You have to have a minimum number of kids so that their confidentiality is protected. You know,
Okay.
we know who was saying what in the school.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Well, I want to say we have a new logo, a new office, a new board. We have some good energy going on. Our new office is right across from Michelle's Restaurant. We had our Christmas party last night as kind of an open house to say this is a community building. This is a community meeting space. Please come in and visit us. It's a beautiful space. We're appreciative that all of you approved that space, so come by and visit. Mary has some Christmas mints to pass out to everybody. Tony?
Sure.
And a Christmas card for everybody.
I just Tony wants to go.
I just want to verify.
Tony can take all the nutrients. So.
I do have a request that if anybody's a fundraiser, a grant writer, we could use some help with grant writing. I can write grants, but because I'm a federal, the money's coming into me as federal dollars, I cannot actually spend my time writing for grants for a new grant because I'm supposed to be spending rather than writing and asking for more. But if any of you, this is the scoff over. So if any of you know somebody that can write grants, please let us know. Please come down. And, yeah.
I would just like to take this opportunity to thank you because I've used your, I don't know if I would call it services, but I've been to a couple of your events.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important because my kids are young and at that age, and I just think you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you.
And I wish more people would attend and try to learn from you guys. So I want to thank you.
Well, we're gonna keep having the events and, keep trying and all that. So the last one we had with the Tim Shoemaker from New Jersey was a really impactful, powerful night. It was a long night, long night. But it was because he had so much content, he had so many things to tell. And we are going to bring him back, hopefully, to do a professional block where he's gonna talk to school counselors, teachers, police, fire, all of you, about what to look for. He's got the cutting edge, these are the drugs that are coming in, and it would blow your mind what kids are able to do right now. And we really need to be on it and protecting them from themselves, basically. So. And one final thing, I want to say thank you to all of you for the beautiful flowers and for being there and showing up for me with my dad. And I really appreciate it from everybody. Okay? And I've got to go get my kids from basketball, so I'm going to step out. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Christina. All the red and white men's past this.
Tony,
All right.
already.
Yeah, just one. Citizens' comments, do we have any citizens' comments tonight? Yes, sir. Please state your name for the record, please.
Ron Penzak. I have a question or / comments, however you interpret them, council, regarding Prairie Farms. Since there is a new owner buying your property, I presume that he is going to be bound by the new building codes that have been adopted since Prairie Farms was first started back when. Secondly, about the bond issue that he would have to pose. I'm presuming that he's going to have to put up a big enough bond to cover the streets, the finishing of the streets, and the light poles that have never been done and finished up in there. And that also that some kind of arrangement is going to be made with him to be able to clean up them lots during the summertime from all the weed growth that has taken place. That he would be bound under that ordinance to do that?
Correct.
Or,
You're pretty much correct on all the stuff, yes. The bond issue will have to cover part of the development. When he comes in and wants to put a house, or build a house, whatever, they have to follow all current codes. They will have, not the codes.
the new codes that we adopted?
Absolutely. Anybody that builds a house now, regardless of when that lot was platted, has to follow the codes that we have on the books. Okay? Secondly, as far as the bond issue, yeah, whenever that redevelopment agreement gets put in place before they can build, the engineer goes through and they have their itemized things that need to be done. Those things have to be met either in coordination with the first building permit, which sometimes happens. Okay, it's not uncommon that when they'll issue a building permit, knowing that these issues have to be taken, but the big key is that occupancy permit. Sometimes there's restrictions put on occupancy. You can start building your first house, but until those conditions are met, you won't get occupancy for that building. So yeah, there's issues that have to be addressed. The purchaser is aware of those issues. They are also fully aware of the mowing issue. We're going to be talking to them about, like Tony was mentioning earlier, about getting some good black dirt topsoil over there to kind of level out those lots that are out there, and was probably part of first phase, and get those seeded properly so we don't have all the weeds and everything else until they move to that building phase, and that's when they come to us with that development agreement, and we have to approve that.
Okay, and the other issue I hope is that the city would follow the ordinance and or situation as far as keeping a register of who the builder would use for a roofer and so forth, because as we all know, the problems that have taken place out in Water's Edge,
Yeah, but I don't think that's within our authority to do that.
I'm sure it is. As far
Other
as
than the contractors have to be licensed.
a licensed electrician, licensed
Right.
plumber.
Well, they have to come in and get a contractor license with the city, but as far as us keeping a register of who they are.
Well, I mean, so we would know, somebody would know. I mean, people out in Water's Edge don't have a clue on who installed roofs, and roofs have gone off and had problems. People's had problems with leaks and so forth, and can't get any help from the builder.
Well, it all depends upon what warranties are put in place.
Yeah, nobody
That-
got it.
That's a civil thing, I guess, not a governmental thing, but yeah.
Oh, I mean, when they come in, they're supposed to list it. They're supposed to list the plumber,
Correct.
contractor,
Correct.
electrical contractor, the roofing contractor, okay?
Correct.
So I just wanted to, thank you.
Okay. Any other citizens' comments? All right. Planning and Zoning Commission, last week, the Planning and Zoning Commission met in regards to the variance and with reference to our police station and lot lines. I believe the vote was unanimous, correct? Tommy? The vote was unanimous on the planning and zoning, on the
Yes.
variance?
Yes, it was.
So you guys have that before you tonight for approval.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve ordinance number 13-12-17-01. An ordinance approving front yard setback on Buchanan Street from 40 feet to 9.3 feet and a side yard setback on Robert P. Wheeling Drive from 40 feet to 13.5 feet.
A motion by Alderman Kerwin, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Alderman Tudor. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Alderman Kerwin.
Yes.
Alderman Tudor.
Yes.
Alderman Persick.
Yes.
Alderman Studer.
Yes.
Alderman Kirby Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Van Dyne.
Yes.
Alderman Larry Hall.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 absent, motion passes.
Thank you. All right, planning and zoning, next scheduled meeting is Thursday, January 9th, 2014. Committee reports, building grounds, parks, health and safety, Alderman Persick, Alderman Van Dyne.
Mr. Mayor, the next scheduled meeting is Wednesday, January 15th, 2014 at 6 p.m.
Thank you. Water, sewer, streets and alleys, Alderman Studer, Alderman Kerwin.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the service estimate for Zlang Water Solutions USA Incorporated for Stewart Street Flight Pump not to exceed $6,452.30.
A motion by Alderman Kerwin, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Larry Hall. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Kerwin.
Yes.
Alderman Larry Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Van Dyne.
Yes.
Alderman Kirby Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Studer.
Yes.
Alderman Persick.
Yes.
Alderman Tudor.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 absent, motion passes.
Our next scheduled meeting is Wednesday, January 15th, 2014 at 5:30 p.m.
Police and ESDA, Alderman Studer, Alderman Tudor.
Next scheduled meeting is Tuesday, January 14th at 5:30 p.m.
Finance administration and land acquisition, Alderman Studer, Alderman Tudor.
I move to approve the accounts payable report dated December 17, 2013 in the amount of $435,244 and the November 2013 collectors report in the amount of $253,332.23 as presented by City Accountant Kim Dolio.
A motion by Alderman Tudor, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Alderman Studer. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Tudor.
Yes.
Alderman Studer.
Yes.
Alderman Persick.
Yes.
Alderman Kirby Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Van Dyne.
Yes.
Alderman Kerwin.
Yes.
Alderman Larry Hall.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 absent, motion passes.
I move to approve ordinance number 13-12-17-02, an ordinance for the levy and collection of taxes for the City of Wilmington, Will County, Illinois, for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2014, and ending April 30th, 2015.
A motion by Alderman Tudor, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Alderman Studer. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Tudor.
Yes.
Alderman Studer.
Yes.
Alderman Larry Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Kerwin.
Yes.
Alderman Van Dyne.
Yes.
Alderman Kirby Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Persick.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 absent, motion passes.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I move to approve ordinance number 13-12-17-03, an ordinance abating the tax hereto levied for the year 2013 to pay the principal of and interest on $1,345,000 in general obligation bonds, alternate revenue source series 2006A of the City of Wilmington, Will County, Illinois.
A motion by Alderman Studer, do we have a second? Second. Second by Alderman Larry Hall. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Studer.
Yes.
Alderman Larry Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Kerwin.
Yes.
Alderman Van Dyne.
Yes.
Alderman Kirby Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Persick.
Yes.
Alderman Tudor.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 absent, motion passes.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve ordinance number 13-12-17-04, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the City of Wilmington Special Service Area Number 1 for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2014 and ending April 30th, 2015.
A motion by Alderman Studer, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Tudor. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Studer.
Yes.
Alderman Tudor.
Yes.
Alderman Persick.
Yes.
Alderman Larry Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Kerwin.
Yes.
Alderman Van Dyne.
Yes.
Alderman Kirby Hall.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 absent, motion passes.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to waive the competitive bidding and to approve the estimate in the amount of $30,425.95 for Brown's Carpet Care Incorporated for carpet, tile, and installation at the new police department.
A motion by Alderman Studer, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Kerwin. Any discussion?
Hey, yeah, I got a question. I normally don't open bids, but is it common for them to put in there that they're gonna do an actual measurement instead of going off the prints? You know, their price could change according to their measurements. Is that common with contractors?
When we contract, just for example, Joe, if somebody sends me prints to build something and I go by prints and I get there and it's bigger after I get there, I want to protect myself. So that's just a pretty normal disclaimer to put that on there because you know, you're guessing what's going to be there on the bids. But if you get there and they decide to build it bigger than you estimated for, you've got to be able to cover yourself somehow. So.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Tudor.
Yes.
Alderman Kerwin.
Yes.
Alderman Larry Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Van Dyne.
Yes.
Alderman Kirby Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Persick.
Yes.
Alderman Studer.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 absent, motion passes.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, I
Halfway
move to-
home.
We're going. I move to approve the 2014 Employee Health Insurance Benefit Renewal with Infinity Benefits Group LLC.
A motion by Alderman Studer, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Tudor. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Studer.
Yes.
Alderman Tudor.
Yes.
Alderman Persick.
Yes.
Alderman Kirby Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Van Dyne.
Yes.
Alderman Kerwin.
Yes.
Alderman Hoppy. I'm sorry, Alderman Larry Hall.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 absent, motion passes. Don't get me giggling.
All right. Mr. Mayor, I move to approve ordinance number 13-12-17-06, an ordinance authorizing the execution of the Illinois Municipal Insurance Cooperative Intergovernmental Agreement.
A motion by Alderman Studer, do we have a second? Second. Second by Alderman Larry Hall. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Tudor.
Yes. Did you say Studer or Tudor?
I said Tudor, but you're the one who said it.
She's
correct.
She's Louise. Alderman Studer.
Okay, yes.
Alderman Larry Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Tudor.
Yes.
Alderman Persick.
Yes.
Alderman Kirby Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Van Dyne.
Yes.
Alderman Kerwin.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 absent, motion passes.
Let's
Jeez.
see if Rich has got one.
I move to approve resolution number 2013-19,
That's the whole thing.
a resolution authorizing the execution of a letter of intent with REO Funding Solutions, LLC, letter of intent for Prairie Farms Development Agreement.
A motion by Alderman Tudor, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Alderman Persick. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Tudor.
Yes.
Alderman Persick.
Yes.
Alderman Studer.
Yes.
Alderman Kirby Hall.
Yes.
Alderman Van Dyne.
Yes.
Alderman Kerwin.
No.
Alderman Larry Hall.
Yes.
We have 6 yes, 1 no, 1 absent, motion passes.
Yep.
Number
Item
10
10.
is gone, it's tabled.
Yeah, we'll push that to the next meeting, finance meeting.
Next scheduled meeting is Tuesday, January 21st, 2014, at 6 p.m.
Let's see, ordinance and license committee, Alderman Kirby Hall.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve ordinance number 13-12-17-05, ordinance for the licensing and regulation of raffles.
A motion by Alderman Kirby Hall, do we have a second? Second. Second by Alderman Larry Hall, any discussion?
Well, this ordinance is sent out to, how do participants or people get copies of this without
I think it's just out there, you know, you try to use public avenues, people that question, you know, you ask them. I mean, I get calls myself if they're
Right.
doing it.
Okay. But nobody calls City Hall and get
It's
copies.
not something we go out and police, we'll put it that way.
Okay.
You know, so,
Thank you.
They can be put in the paper, maybe
yeah, we're not, yeah.
notifying individuals or special interest groups.
Oh, yeah, we just, I mean, we use whatever, you know, public output we can.
That's good, thanks.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Kirby Hall,
Yes.
Alderman Larry Hall,
Yes.
Alderman Kerwin,
Yes.
Alderman Van Dyne,
Yes.
Alderman Studer,
Yes.
Alderman Persick,
Yes.
Alderman Tudor,
Yes.
7 yes, 1 absent, motion passes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The next scheduled meeting is Tuesday, January 14th, 2014 at 6 PM.
Thank you. Personnel and collective bargaining, Alderman Hall, Alderman Persick.
We have a meeting. Nothing at this time, Mayor.
Awesome. City Administrator's report, Mr. Graff.
Yeah,
He's over there eating all his mints.
trying to eat the minutes, catch up on my lunch here. One of the things that came out in the paper today, that I think is, shows well for our region, is Will County received their bond rating, and it was reaffirmed again at AA+. And one of the a couple of comments that were made by the executive, Larry Walsh, was in regards to the growth and development and fiscally responsibility of the county, of course, not us. But it's a great tool. As we were meeting with one of the major industrial brokers today that is representing some of our landowners, they're very excited about how Will County is really the place to be for growth, for bringing new jobs, new development. And these individuals that were here today really got an education on what is going on in Wilmington, but also what is going on in Will County too. And it's always reassuring, you know, to I think our city, when the county is doing such a, you know, great job with their fiscal responsibilities, because we know our battle with the state is a lot different. So we try to reinforce with potential users coming to our area positives, and it's I think a very positive reflection on our county when the county board gets a rating like a AA+ for their bonding. Plus it saves money for our taxpayers with the interest. I wasn't here for the latest snow over the weekend, but from what I heard from people in town, our crews were right on the spot again, and they did well with the snow plowing and moving snow. We are getting calls about the leaves because now the leaves are covered up with the snow.
It's a berm now.
But it's a berm. But they will be back out as the weather warms up this next couple of days. They'll be back out in certain areas to pick up some more leaves in regards to things. And that's all we got to report. All right.
Thank you, Tony. Attorney's report, Mr. Urban.
Thank you. Still no decision on the severance case. I have an appeal that's just a little bit older than that one that the appellate court has not decided yet. And I had another one that has been in the appellate court less time than the severance case, and that one has already been decided. The losing party petitioned for a rehearing before the appellate court, and the appellate court has already denied them. So, so, you know, it could be relatively shortly, or it could be a little while longer. IDNR was supposed to get back to me about 3 or 4 weeks ago in regards to the easements that they needed for the Kankakee River Dam. I haven't heard from them. They're overdue. I did email them asking for an update, and I haven't heard a response yet from them. So that's it. Thank you.
And just a side note there, the insurance that you renewed, our dam is covered. They did quote with the dam. So,
I will get that off soon as possible.
yeah, they're hoping to,
Bumped it up to holidays right now. Vacation time.
I'd just like to say one thing. I was fortunate to go with Tony and the chief and Matt up to Indiana to see our building, police building being built. And we all know most of us grew up here with the word prefab and all that. And I'm not quite in the construction market, but it was pretty impressive, I gotta tell you. You know, make you think twice, I think. Well, hopefully it puts together the way it should and everything, it'll be a sound building. I was pretty impressed with seeing the operations from one stage to the whole completion of it, you know, because they had one section at every stage practically. You know. So it was very impressive. I was glad I took the trip.
Cool. That's good. Very clean operation.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, our next regular city council meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, January 7th, in the year 2014, at 7 o'clock p.m. Motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? All right. Adjourned.